Welcome ladies and gentlemen to a new video. Hope you had a really good Christmas and holidays. And now when you're done with drinking eggnog, let's get back to business. So today I'm going to present to you top 10 of the fragrances that I think you should avoid if you are on a budget, and what fragrances you should maybe buy instead. And I don't say that any of these expensive fragrances are bad. Some of them are really amazing and really good to buy if you have fragrances. Some of them are my favorite, but this is more aimed towards the people who are on a budget or don't want to spend a lot of money on the original or the designer type of brands. They're very expensive. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. So the first fragrance on this list that I think you should avoid is Creed Oriental Santol. This is a fragrance that I personally don't think is worth the high price it has, because to me it smells very shampoo-ish and very soapy-like for that type of high price. So even though the fragrance I would recommend, which is Prada L'Homme, isn't quite an inexpensive fragrance, but I think that's a much better alternative if you want that type of soapy, clean office type of scent. Avoid Creed Original Santol and buy Prada L'Homme instead. That's the first fragrance on this list. The second fragrance today is one of my all-time favorites. This is from the house of Parfums de Marly, and this is called Percival. Percival is a really amazing fragrance. It has some beautiful lavender in there. At the same time, it's very fresh and all around. You can wear it in every situation. It could be your signature scent, you can wear it on a date, you can wear it in the office. Lovely fragrance from Parfums de Marly, but it's very expensive, so I think you should pick up Mont Blanc Legend instead of Percival if you're on a budget. It's not exactly the same type of fragrance, of course, guys, but it's pretty similar to the scent. So if you haven't tried Percival yet and you think of buying it, maybe you should check out Mont Blanc Legend instead before you decide. So that is my choice of the second fragrance, Percival. Choose Mont Blanc Legend instead. The third on my list is the king of the niche world. It's Creed Aventis. And as you guys know, it's super expensive, super hyped up, but there are some really good replicas or clones from a lot of different companies, and the best clone I've tried is from Armaf, and it's called Club de Nuit, and this is pretty similar, and I don't know if it's like 1/4 of the price or something like that. So if you're interested in the Creed Aventis type of DNA, try Club de Nuit from Armaf. On the fourth place today we have a very marine and very popular type of scent. This is the marine fragrance Acqua di Gio I'm talking about. It's a perfect summer fragrance, but still to this day, even if it's very old, it's pretty expensive. So if you don't have the money, I would really suggest you to try out Nautica Voyage. This fragrance I haven't owned that many weeks actually. I just picked it up couple of weeks ago because I haven't tried it before. I picked it up for $17 for a 100 milliliter tester bottle from Fragrance X actually. And I was really positively surprised because this is a great smell. It has that marine clean type of notes in there, just like Acqua di Gio, perfect summer fragrance. So if you're into that more Acqua di Gio type of scent, try Nautica Voyage instead. And it's like a combination of Acqua di Gio and Versace Men Eau Fresh. It has that citrus in there, the marine notes, and the really clean, fresh summer vibe to the fragrance. So for the price, Nautica Voyage is a good alternative if you don't want to spend your money on the Acqua di Gio. On the fifth place today we have Dolce Gabbana One. This is a super hyped up and popular fragrance, and it's a kind of Oriental type of fragrance. It has that cardamom, very warm cinnamon type of vibe to it. Great for fall, great for winter and the colder months. But it's pretty expensive, you know, Dolce Gabbana, really popular designer brand. So if you want to try these type of Oriental fragrances but don't want to spend the money, and you don't know if you like these type of scents, I would recommend the Calvin Klein One Shock, CK1 Shock. A really inexpensive fragrance, goes for like 20 bucks for a 100 milliliter bottle. So I think that's a really good alternative if you are on a budget. Number 6 on this list is Fahrenheit, the classic masculine, really boozy type of scent from Dior. And this is pretty hard to pull off, in my opinion, if you are a young guy, if you don't have the maturity and the authority to wear this type of scent. And I rarely wear this scent because I think it's too boozy for me personally. But if you're into that type of fragrances, really masculine, really heavy projection and long lasting, I think you should try out Salvatore Ferragamo F Black. It's not same in the matter of the scent to itself, I think, but it has that masculine, pretty dressed up, mature vibe to the whole fragrance. So Salvatore Ferragamo F Black goes for around 18 to 20 bucks for a 100 milliliter bottle. You can find it on Fragrance X, for example, where I buy a lot of my fragrance. F, S and W. Type that in the promotion code and you get free shipping worldwide. So that's a tip for me if you like the more boozy masculine scent. Try Salvatore Ferragamo F Black instead of Fahrenheit. The number 7 on this list is Bleu de Chanel. You know, it's a very fresh, clean, all-around blue fragrance, but it's super expensive. You know, I think it goes for $150 for a 100 and 125 milliliter bottle, so it's super expensive even for a designer fragrance. So a really similar fragrance to this one is Versace Dylan Blue. I think they to me personally, I think they smell pretty similar actually. Very fresh, very clean, very blue type of fragrance, you know, really easy to wear, really all-around fragrance if you don't want to have a specific fragrance for specific occasions. I think this is really safe. So Versace Dylan Blue is really inexpensive as well. I think it goes for like 20 bucks today for a bottle of a Versace Dylan Blue. It's a great fragrance. I think it's pretty underrated as well, the Versace Dylan Blue. But I really love it. It's a great substitute for the Bleu de Chanel if you don't want to spend that type of money. So on the 7th spot today we have Versace Dylan Blue. On the 8th spot today we have really classic, the club banger Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male. And if you like this fragrance but you don't want to spend the money, they have a really popular brand that have some clones of different fragrances. It's called La Rive, and this fragrance is called Cabana, and they did a clone of Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male and a lot of different fragrances as well. And this is a really good alternative. And as I said before, it's not exactly a copy of the original, but it's pretty similar. I think they did a great job to make this as similar to the original Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male as you possibly can. So check out Cabana from the company La Rive. That's the number 8 spot today. On the number 9 spot today we have one more very marine and fresh type of summer fragrance that I'm gonna talk about, and this is Versace Men Eau Fresh. It has that special starfruit note that's very interesting, so you'll have a little bit more twist. It's not a typical blue classic fresh fragrance with marine notes. I think it's really interesting, really long lasting and stuff like that. But the substitute for this one is Nautica Life, another Nautica fragrance, or Nautica, I don't know how you pronounce it. Nautica Life, this is called, and it's pretty similar to the Versace Men Eau Fresh fragrance. Nautica have fragrances for really low prices, guys. So I think you should really pick up at least one Nautica fragrance. And Nautica Life is basically a clone of Versace Men Eau Fresh. Pretty similar. It reminds me a little bit about the fragrance I mentioned earlier, Nautica Voyage, that has that same type of structure to it. So if you like the Versace Men of Fresh fragrance but don't want to spend the money on it, Nautica Life, check that one out. On the 10th place today, or the 10th spot, is Dior Sauvage Eau de Toilette. This is super popular, a lot of people love it. I think it's nice, so of course I love the Eau de Toilette more than the Eau de Parfum, but it's super expensive. And if you don't want to spend this type of money, try the Dior Very Cool spray. It has 100 milliliter bottles, it's a cool spray, but I guarantee you guys, it smells exactly the same to me as the Eau de Toilette. So why, if you don't have the money, why buy the glass bottle, the Eau de Toilette, when you can buy the not Versace, the Dior Very Cool spray for a lot less money? So that's my tip for you guys if you want to save some money and smell really great, have really great clones, really great substitute. So this was my top 10 list of fragrance that I had in the top of my mind, that I think it's very popular. Some is more popular than others. Some classics, some of my personal favorites. So yeah, that was everything I had to say today. Hope you have an awesome week, guys. Take care of each other, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.